Have you heard about this? AI writing music, like whole songs even, and some, well, eerily similar to some pretty big artists. It's pretty wild, right? And maybe a little unnerving. If AI can just copy anyone's style, what does that mean for the artist? What happens to their creative ownership? Well, in today's deep dive, we're tackling that. We're going to explore how to protect musical originality in this age of AI-generated music. And get this, we're diving into something called HarmonyCloak. It's a fascinating approach to this whole problem that a lot of folks are talking about these days. So HarmonyCloak, it's like a tool that basically tries to make songs unlearnable by AI, almost like hiding the music, shielding it from AI's ability to like analyze and copy it.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever approach when you think about how these AI music models actually learn. They're trained on these massive data sets of music, right?
Yeah.
Absorbing all these patterns and styles. And HarmonyCloak kind of throws a wrench in that whole process.
Okay, so how does it actually work? I mean, does it like scramble the music or something?
Not really scrambling. It's more about subtle changes, really subtle manipulation. HarmonyCloak basically introduces these tiny, tiny changes to the song. Things like shifting the timing of a note just slightly, or maybe a teeny change in the pitch, stuff that's barely perceptible to us.
So you're saying like I could listen to a song protected by HarmonyCloak and not even realize it's different?
Exactly. You wouldn't hear the difference. But for the AI, these subtle changes, they make a huge difference. Imagine like you're trying to learn this super complicated dance routine, right? But someone keeps changing the steps on you, just slightly. You might think you've got it down, but every time it's a little different.
Oh, I get it. That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
So HarmonyCloak is like messing with the AI, right? It's like tripping it up so it can't accurately learn the song's structure and style.
Exactly. By tweaking the musical information, HarmonyCloak kind of tricks the AI into thinking, oh, I already learned this one, and it stops it from figuring anything else out.
So have they like tested this out? I mean, with, real people listening and with the AI models?
Oh, yeah. They did a whole study with 31 people, volunteers, and 3 different AI music models. And the results, well, they were pretty interesting, the people listening. They couldn't tell the difference between the original songs and the ones cloaked by HarmonyCloak.
And what about the AI? What happened there?
Well, they really struggled to copy the protected music. And the really interesting thing was, the more of these cloaked songs they fed into the AI's training data, the worse the AI got at making new music in the style of those protected songs.
Wow, that's really something. It sounds like it really works. Like this could be an actual solution for a lot of artists who are, worried about this whole AI thing.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a promising development, especially with all these legal battles popping up around AI and music.
Right. Like, wasn't there that law passed in Tennessee, the one that protects singers' voices from being used by AI without their permission? It seems like lawmakers are starting to catch on to this and trying to do something about it.
And that's really where things get interesting. When you look at the bigger picture, HarmonyCloak is like a part of this whole movement. It's about making sure AI is used to help human creativity, not take advantage of it. It's about giving artists, especially in this crazy, fast-changing world, more say in how their music is used and making sure they benefit from it too.
It's wild, right? Because on the one hand, you have these AI tools for making music becoming like everywhere. I'm thinking about platforms like Suno and Udio. You can just like whip up whole songs in no time. It's pretty amazing how much easier it's becoming to make music these days. But that brings up a whole other can of worms, doesn't it?
It sure does. Tools like those, and even the stuff that companies like Adobe and Meta are doing with AI for music, it's all starting to blur the lines, Like who's the creator? Who's the consumer? It's getting hard to tell.
So, okay. So on one side, you've got these AI tools making it super easy to make music. But then on the other side, you've got HarmonyCloak. It's like this shield,
Yeah.
protecting artists and stopping AI from just ripping off their style. It feels like we're in this weird new territory. It's almost like the rule book is still being written as we go along.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
And definitely changing all the time.
So where do we go from here? I mean, what does all this mean for music, for the future?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like how do we keep that balance between like all this cool AI stuff and making sure we don't lose that human touch, that creative spark?
Yeah, it's like this crazy dance between innovation and protecting things. We don't want to just shut down all this AI music stuff. There's so much potential there. I mean, think about all the people who want to make music, but they don't know where to start, These tools, they could be a game changer.
Right, absolutely. I mean, anytime we can make creative tools more accessible, that's a good thing. But we got to be careful, too. Can't let the human element get lost, you know?
And that's where HarmonyCloak comes in, right? I mean, it's not just some techie trick. It's more than that. It's about like saying, "Hey, human artistry matters." Especially now with AI getting so good at, basically doing everything.
I couldn't agree more. It's about embracing AI, but on our own terms,
Hmm.
you know? Making sure artists, especially musicians, have control over their work, that their unique voice is protected.
Yeah. And this isn't just about like the big name artists, right? Think about the up and comers, the ones just starting out. If AI can copy anyone's style, man, it's got to be even harder for them to stand out, to find their own voice.
Absolutely. That's where HarmonyCloak can really level the playing field, so to speak. Everyone, no matter who they are, how much experience they have, they can protect their music. It's like this shield, right? Protecting
Uh-huh.
that crazy, beautiful diversity of music.
Okay, so say I'm a musician and I'm like, all right, I want to use this HarmonyCloak thing. What's that like? Is it some super complicated program? Do I need to like be a computer whiz to figure it out?
Oh, no, no, no. It's
Mm.
not like that at all. They've actually made it really easy to use.
So an artist could like protect their entire catalog of music, make it way harder for AI to steal their style. That's incredible.
That's the idea. And here's the really cool part. The more artists who use it, the stronger the protection becomes for everyone. It's like this collective force field,
Okay.
protecting human creativity.
It almost sounds like an arms race, Like as AI gets smarter, we need tools like HarmonyCloak to keep up, fight back in a way. Do you think that's going to keep happening?
That's a great question. And that's kind of the thing, isn't it? HarmonyCloak isn't like some one-time fix. It's got to keep evolving.
Huh.
I mean, as AI gets more and more advanced, well, the ways we protect music, those have to change too. It's this constant back and forth.
So like maybe in the future we'll have, I don't know, even crazier techniques to protect music. What do you think those might look like?
Oh, man. Now, that's a thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens if AI gets so good that it can break through anything?
Hmm.
Or maybe there's another way. Like,
Yeah.
what if AI and human creativity, they kind of learn to live together, to work together, to push each other to be even better?
Man, those are some heavy questions. It really shows just how important HarmonyCloak is, not just for protecting music now, but for like figuring out how art and AI are going to work together in the future.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing when you really start thinking about it, huh? All these
Yeah.
possibilities and all the questions that come with them. Like, how do we make sure we're using AI in the right way, especially when it comes to something like music, something so human.
Yeah, for sure. It's about finding that balance, right? Like how do we use all this incredible tech, all this AI stuff without losing sight of what makes art, well, art. And I think HarmonyCloak, it's a really good example of how to do that. It's almost like a reminder, right? That technology, it's a tool, like a hammer or a paintbrush. And we get to decide how we use it. We can build something amazing or we can, tear things down. And when it comes to art, to creativity, I think we need to be really careful. We've got to make sure we're using AI to help people express themselves, not to replace that expression.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And I think Harmony Cloak, it's a really powerful symbol of that. It's saying, hey, we can have both. We can have these amazing advancements in AI, and we can protect creativity at the same time.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? We've talked about AI making music, all this the ethical stuff that comes with that, and this really cool tool, HarmonyCloak. That could be a real game changer for artists.
It's been a great conversation. It's such a fascinating topic, and it's changing so fast. I think the main takeaway is we got to stay engaged. We got to keep learning, keep asking questions because AI and music, they're going to keep evolving.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, remember HarmonyCloak, it's out there and it's a real reason to be optimistic. It's proof that we can find ways to make sure music, human creativity, it thrives even in this crazy new world of AI.
And keep exploring. There's so much cool stuff happening in the world of AI and music. Don't be afraid to, dive in and see what's out there.
Couldn't agree more. So until next time, stay curious and keep those ears open.